going.
New intro. Welcome to episode 2 of Branded Film and Media Podcast. We haven't figured out our name yet, but maybe we'll do that today.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You notice that intro, who we stole that from?
Yeah, we stole that from Jared Morris, who did the first official podcast that's outside of Branded Film and Media Podcast.
Yes.
Thanks, Jared.
He came in on Tuesday night and brought a guy by the name of Tanner.
Yeah, Tanner Usure.
Usure, cool last name.
And I think that's what it is.
And basically, they utilized our studio, which was kind of cool.
So really cool.
He actually did the first. I don't even know. No, we did our first, and then he was second. So,
yeah.
Long story short.
Did he play?
They didn't play. Tanner forgot his guitar, and Jared was like, well, I got one. He's like, but I'd like to just get to know you a little bit. And we can hang out and talk about music and not necessarily play, since that's what we do every single day of our lives anyway. So I thought that was pretty cool, and they had a really cool conversation. I was here doing the producing that day. And, Jared, he's a ball of fun. The guy's always got something funny to say. Yep. He's a character. So if you're, get ready for that. If you guys are listening to us and you know Jared at all, he's about to produce his own podcast, start leaking some of that stuff out. And he's a lot of fun to listen to.
Yeah, he's gonna be a great podcaster. So here we are, Branded Film and Media. We got Cooper Reed, Marie Rieger. My name is Kason Caraway, and we are doing our second podcast, and we're excited about it. This has always been a dream of ours. We listen to content. We've consumed a lot of content over the past, I would say for me, about 5 or 6 years. I've really dove into trying to make my skills better with social media management and video production. So I think today we're going to talk a little bit about what we've gained over the past 5 years and how we're now implementing that and what it means to other, businesses that how we came up in our style of social media marketing and branding and creating films, why we do it the way we do it. And then we may go around the table and talk a little bit about a few things of, just quick value dumps to people. So I got one in mind that I'm ready to tell at the end that, how I think you should do things to help promote your brand. So we'll start with Cooper. I know you're Mr. YouTube University. I know you've consumed a lot of content, and so who's some of your key players you watched and learned from?
First and foremost, I would have to say, this is a big one, and he continues to be a driving force in all the things that I do. That's out, like, not only in my company and kind of what I do, but my day-to-day life. And that's Gary Vaynerchuk, man.
Mm-hmm.
Gary Vaynerchuk, Gary V. This dude has been monumental. He's been in the game for a long time. If you haven't sought out or seen his stuff, I don't know how you haven't already. If you're in business, if you're in marketing and you haven't seen Gary Vaynerchuk, I don't know what rock you've been hiding under, but this dude is everywhere, and he's just giving straight value. And
he's just not free. Wrong.
No, he is historically correct.
The ones that he did a long time
one of the
ago.
most favorite thing, I agree with you, and I'm right up the same avenue with that, is he never stopped recording since he started documenting, not making videos. He documented his entire days, and his crew will get something on film, and then 7 years later they're playing a clip of him, doesn't even look the same, but he's telling them, hey, Snapchat's going to be huge, but here's how I think Snapchat's going to take over, and sure enough it did, or whatever so he has merit, I guess. I don't even know, it's
merit, it's clout. He's been historically correct in his assumptions, and the thing is that he does his research before he gets it. He's loud. Some people think he's obnoxious. He uses the F-bomb, and he uses curse words, and he's just a big character. He's just out there. But the thing about Gary V that I respect a lot is before he says something that he's like, nope, this is what's going to happen, he does his homework. I just watched a video of him today talking about do your 50 hours of homework before you do anything. If you're in business, if you're trying to sell something, if you're trying to do anything in your life, don't do anything until you've done your 50 hours of homework. What he means by that is do your research. Look up the YouTube stuff, read all the articles, do some trial and error, do some testing. But until you do your 50 hours of homework, don't do shit. Man. And so I respect
this is
that.
a cussing podcast.
I mean, I don't, Michael, if you need to beep this out when you edit it, go ahead, but I don't mind.
I
throw that out there. That's just kind of
I'll try to make it
Gary
appropriate.
Vaynerchuk is one of the biggest people interview him. Why do you cuss so much? I've seen those interviews, and he's like, man, it's just where I'm from, what I do, and that's just who he is, and nobody's telling him what or to not do. I've read his book, Crushing It. And I've read it probably 3 times. That really changed my whole viewpoint on running a business and marketing yourself. it's not always about your, you know, you have a personal brand. Basically, you have to get your name out there. So like if y'all chose to be the ones that cuss, that's your personal brand. That's your decision. That's how you want people to perceive you. That's his value or his viewpoint in that, I think, is that he wants you to build your credibility yourself, and then your brand and your company and your money and all that comes later. So,
Yes. And cussing lowers your blood pressure. Google it.
Ooh, really?
Google it. Hey, Michael. Fact. Oh, wait. Michael's not here today. Man.
No,
dang it.
He's at school.
Dang it.
And these nice studio lights are hot on the back of my neck.
You are close to those lights.
Yeah. Who was some of your big mentors?
I love Aubrey Marcus. He's out there, but I really feel like he's a front runner trying to do what's good for the human race and make money at the same time. You know, sometimes he goes one way or the other.
Okay.
But he admits that he's just learning. He's always, going with the flow, looking at new things.
And sorry, remind me who Aubrey Marcus is.
Yeah.
He is. He started on it with Joe Rogan.
Oh,
really?
Okay.
Yes. Yes. And so they did the nootropic drug together. Do you know what he talks about it all the time. And so they just started, making these products, and then it just sold for millions of dollars.
You're talking about the product that Joe Rogan pushes?
The nootropic.
Yes. Okay. I'm familiar with that.
Yeah. He won't do a podcast.
So there's another guy behind it.
Yes.
And that's who you're following.
Yes. And this is another reason why Joe Rogan moved to Austin. There's a group of Austin people,
okay.
And they're like MMA and, just entrepreneurs, go-getters. And so, but Aubrey is also spiritual. And then Ram Dass, he died. But like Gary Vee, everything that he says is accurate no matter what time, whether it was the 60s or, 2000.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Ram Dass. There's a crazy story. A lot of people who, have been following my travels and stuff like that know that I've spent a lot of time in New Mexico, and there's this ashram and temple in New Mexico that I frequent. And every time I go there, I stop by there. And Ram Dass is kind of an affiliate, an associate, or was to that temple. It's the Das family, the Maharaji, and then Hanuman and all of that stuff. So, and what he had to say about love and kindness and just and being love, and he's kind of that kind of guy who was trying to so he was a spiritual teacher, teaching love and kindness.
His
and just
biggest thing is to be here now.
Be here now.
To be in the past is depression, and to worry about the future is anxiety. So don't worry about any of those and just focus on right now.
Yep, absolutely.
Man. So it's crazy. You can take that, and he has an approach with marketing, or he does that and marketing.
No, he was more. He was just more spiritual.
Well, the guy more
spiritual teacher.
It just has such a big influence on everything that I do and how I relate to the clients, and it just really helps getting to know people quickly. Because you can just, instead of having those barriers of, I don't agree with that or I don't like that, you just, it's just really taught me a lot about the human race.
That is so true about you, is that your clients love you and you get to know them to their core faster than anybody I've ever met.
And we'll go back on that too. So Gary Vee, even though he's just a marketing guru, Jersey dude, and in New York, wants to own the New York Jets. But he talks a lot about empathy, and that's his biggest thing. He's like, I don't want to be known for hustle and hard work. He's like, I empathize with my people and my customers, and at the end of the day, I want to be known for building the biggest skyscraper in New York by building people up instead of tearing people down. And so going back to Ram Dass, just being love and being here now, Gary Vaynerchuk, he doesn't talk about it a whole lot right now, but you can tell he's got underlying philosophical, empathetic, loving, good vibes. And that's the reason he does so well. And his culture, he doesn't have an HR, like a CHO or CHRO. He's got a human heart officer. He's got a human heart, or a chief heart officer, instead of an HR person. So I think that's really cool.
Also, even I try to bring that to I haven't heard of any of the things you're talking about, but I still try to bring that same thing to my everyday business and the people that I know and I love. So it's kind of ironic that my raising a Christian background, through college, really didn't attend, and then got right back into Christianity with my wife. And that checks me enough to remember that we're all here for, one reason. And in my opinion, it's to spread love and spread the word if you want to spread the word. And there's ways to spread the word is not by throwing the Bible at somebody, but being a good person. So that's my preaching.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Living by example. That's
Live
by
by
example.
example.
It's not by the book. It's
That's
an
the way I
example.
do it. And I live by I think the word genuine always comes to the tip of my tongue. I try to be genuine with everybody, and I do the right thing all the time. Just be a leader. Basically, be a leader and do the right thing, and it gets you to places quicker than most people.
Yep, doing the right thing. Do the right thing.
Do the right thing.
Yeah, and if you make a mistake, own it.
And own up to it.
Own up to it, man.
If someone
Accountability,
comes up
dude.
to you and says that was wrong, you hurt my feelings, or I don't agree with that, or just own it and apologize and have a discussion
It's
about
a hard
it.
thing for some people to do.
Oh, it's
is
hard
tough.
for
I think it's that we are all three alignment in the way we see people, business, and what we want out of our business right now. I mean, and I think it comes down to Cooper's never going to pump out a video that doesn't satisfy the client, because that's going to hurt you to the core.
No.
If they're not happy, that hurts you.
And
You don't care.
If I put out a video that the client doesn't like, I'm putting out a video that I don't like, because I like making videos that I like to experience.
Yeah.
Like I make videos because, I like this. And so if you see my videos, it's because I think that's cool, or, this feels good to me. And it just turns out that luckily most of our clients have thought the same thing.
I mean,
Fortunately,
loved them.
but I like what I produce. And so if I put out something that my client doesn't like, it's probably because I don't like it too. And I'm going to veer away from doing that.
That's, I mean, even you showing up to a dog trainer video or a gun dog trainer, you found a way to like it and have a good time at it, and embrace the moment and find the beauty in it and how to tell a story, whether it be through the grasses, the sunrise,
or lay on the dirt right by a dead bird.
Well, I mean, hey, that shoot was an easy shoot. I mean, Amelia in Bad Habit Gun Dogs, she's awesome.
amazing.
She's great. Her dogs are super talented because she's super talented. And so, I mean, dude, I'm in my element out there.
Yeah.
Yes, it was cold that morning, but
Fingers are
dude,
freezing.
fingers are freezing. But man, I love dogs. I love nature. I love being in the tall grass. I don't care that I was sitting and laying down in the tall grass to get the shots. Like, that's in my element. That's where I'm having fun. If I ever start second guessing, like, I don't want to lay down in the grass to get this shot, like,
or
what am I doing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
I think we all wanted her to succeed. Like, we wanted Amelia to be the coolest thing ever. And she's already cool, but our video, like, in our opinions, we did it. Like, and we were all proud of that video. Yes.
I love that video. It was so much fun.
And so even, the one you did today for Mark Area, you're posting today about Mark Area, I'm proud of that video. It was a great video. I mean, I know the transitions that you purchased to get to that video. I know the music, how hard it is, just like that music. That stuff is difficult. And it takes a creative mind. Not only what we've already talked about leading up to this, like, you've got to get to know the client enough to be able to pump out that video. So y'all's philosophy or the way that you see people, good job, guys.
Yeah, thanks, man. No, it's fun. That's
so
what I
fun.
love. And that's my biggest thing. And I think that's what, like you're saying, that's what translates into good work. Whenever you care about your client, when you care about what
And
you're
it's so
Amazing how
fun
hard-
to watch
how
because he
easy
has
that
this
is, dude.
he has this vision, and I don't know what that vision is, because sometimes it's harder to talk about it and discuss it. Like we'll
That's
have
true.
like a main idea, but when I'm on set with him, I try to stay out of the way, number one, and then number two, just kind of be intuitive on what he needs, like where he thinks
great.
that needs to go, and maybe let's try that.
And I love that.
And,
And I appreciate that. And that's
it's
something
so fun to watch.
Yeah, and I appreciate that because that's something that we talked about today in an interview, anticipation. And I talked to
it's
Kason about
huge.
this before
Huge for me.
because he said it to me, and I'm like, well, the word you're looking for is anticipation. And I learned that through being a surgical tech for 5 or 6 years before I got into any kind of, what I do now, digital media.
and the way you were
marketing, all that
raised,
stuff.
your dad
Yeah.
made sure, hey, know when I need that wrench to be handed to me, you know, or something like
Jack
that.
did not mess around.
No,
Yeah.
no.
You give it a little things like that.
It does go back that
But
far
surgical
for
tech,
sure.
don't get
but
me
like,
wrong.
I had to learn to anticipate what those doctors were thinking
Wow.
and know they just stick their hand out. And I know, but I'd have to be paying attention to see what was happening within the surgical, you know, what's going on in the surgery before as he knew it, I knew it.
That's
so
so
you
big, man.
slap an instrument in their hand and they're right back to work. And so that's kind of what I appreciate about Marie and anybody that comes to work for me is that you can anticipate like what needs to happen or how to stay out of the way, which leads to then taking the initiative. Anticipation leads to taking the initiative or the right next step.
Yeah, and you're so good about saying if I do something or suggest something, you'll say that's not what I had in mind. That doesn't meet the vision, and I don't even. I'm like,
I can see it on his
okay,
face.
yeah,
I can see his body language change. And he takes it a lot longer behind the camera, and I know if it's good, he's going to just snaps it, and we run with it. But if he's I don't like it. I can tell.
Yes.
I mean, I've seen you do it already. So
or he gets hungry.
I wear it.
Did we
all.
talk about that on the last podcast?
We should.
Oh gosh,
we should.
He's switching.
Man,
You can feel it.
Cooper spreads love and is all nice, and and he's Cooper Reed. But man, and when he gets hangry, if he doesn't have lunch and it's 2 p.m. and he's in the middle of a meeting, that you might as well burn the building down and get out of there because it's not even like it's so funny because it's little. He's just so minuscule.
And you have about maybe 3 minutes and 23 seconds before it's like, I'm hungry, I'm dying, this is terrible, I'm gonna eat.
Yep. I love you. I want to help you, and we're gonna do great things for you. But guys, I gotta shut this down. I gotta go eat.
I can't do it.
I can't.
I can't talk about the colors of this logo anymore because
I don't give a shit.
Like at this point, I don't care, man. I want to put a logo out, and I'm gonna go like help people build businesses, and I want to eat some food right now. So can we just move on?
We help people build businesses. That is so cool.
No, it is.
I mean, we empower brands that we empower brands through film and media, but we literally our goal is to bring revenue through that company through marketing, and that's
I
big
know
for
we
me.
talked about it last time, but Wise Choice Custom Meats, I went in there today and they have a new employee and his name's Eli. He's great. And Josh, the owner, he said, this is Marie. Whatever she says, do it. If she says put on a tutu, do it. She has brought us more business, and whatever she puts on there, it sells. So, just know that that's the rules.
So,
that just felt so good to hear.
I love that. Can I
so
ask when he says it sells? Is it meaning like that it gets viral hits and that's enough for him, or is he actually selling that product?
Their
that meat?
page is so insane. Like I'll put beef ribs $8.99 per pound, and then within 30 minutes, if we drop it like $1, within 30 minutes,
people are coming through the store.
Yes, and then
that
Lynn multiple
Makes
times. Lynn is like, I'll post it and I'll say how many do you have? And he'll look and he'll go, 4. Well, they're going to get in the door. That's only happened a handful, but whatever gets them in the door. But that page is hot.
Why is it so hot?
It's the family, it's the experience. But then once you get the food home, people are just used to store-bought meat, or a lot of people. There's a lot of good meat. People that use their own cattle here, but it's just a game changer. And then with me, I felt a difference in my health
through their product.
Yes.
Yeah, they have a great product, but also, yes, like their product, their meat is fantastic. But at the end of the day, like they're doing, some things like for the community, like a lot of things for the community.
They give so much, and they're going to be mad at me for saying this.
I know. I almost didn't say it. Did you see me hesitate?
We won't say who, but anytime stuff like that is happening, they'll say, "Don't post that. Don't put," and we just all put our phones away.
They're not in it for that, but they're doing good things in the community. They have a great product. They're fun. Like they allow Marie to go in and do her thing, and allow they allow the tutus and the
tutus.
And the
yeah,
silliness.
And Aries like that too.
Yeah.
I very few know all the things that he does for the community.
Yeah.
He would help anyone walking down the street, but
awesome.
We don't publicize that on purpose. But most clients are like that.
I mean,
it comes back to caring. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but it comes back to they care. They care about the product they're putting out because they care about the community that they're delivering to. You know, so there is a theme here, ladies and gentlemen. If you are in business or want to be in business, care about your customers, care about your community, and have fun doing social media marketing.
No, it's spot on. caring about people goes a long way. Once they, and it's like Art's social media strategy over the years for my page was to show Kaysen actually caring about the community, his family, his job, he takes passion in what he does, and everything he does, he tries to do it right. Let's market that.
Oh, you know my favorite Kaysen Caraway post? Do you know which one it is?
Probably the basketball game.
The basketball game.
Yeah.
My son
awesome.
had the buzzer beater. Decatur won. Got the buzzer beater to beat Argyle for district.
I will never forget that shot.
It was just, 3, 2, 1, shot the three.
In
and
the
then
corner.
someone from the other side got a screenshot of the crowd. And I knew where Kaysen was. And I zoomed in. And I don't even know what caption I used. But
I was jumping.
poor
in the
Emma.
stands.
I don't know where she was there.
She was
but
there,
then,
something clapping her right in it
but
too.
you jumped so high, you were just, hands
stuck,
up.
yeah.
It was great.
And
but
I didn't
it was
have
such
any-
a real moment.
it
It
was-
showed your excitement, your enthusiasm. You cared.
No kids, no immediate. I mean, really, I didn't have any immediate cousins, like family members or anything. I was there to support,
The
all
basketball
my
team.
buddies that were on the basketball team. And not all of them knew me, but I mean, I get to know them. I mean, some of those kids that come out of there, I consider they look up to me,
Mhm.
So
yeah, I mean, like when we did the video for the last year's run, right? And,
Yeah.
and you were out there talking to a lot of those guys,
Mhm.
after they won the one and then they lost the next one, so
I care for them.
Yeah,
They go
you
through a
get
lot.
talking-
I mean,
yeah.
I care for all the sports and all that, but it just so happens that I really enjoy watching basketball. So I think that, it really came out in that picture. But yeah, that was a really good pick.
It had nothing to do with real estate.
And that's the thing. It's like, what do I post? I don't know what to post. Everybody's like, I just never know what to post. Okay, well, if you don't use our services, I guess, there's just so much content out there that nobody's dumping.
Well, it goes back to
I use that a dog in the office post.
hmm
Who else brings their dog to the office? That is viral.
I mean, everyone loves dogs.
Exactly.
Dogs
There's
are that's
always
one of my
something.
biggest advice to my clients. If you have pets, we're going to market them. Mark Aries, precious.
Yes.
It goes over so well.
Well, and it's relatable. It's like, oh, I have a dog too. Oh, they like dogs. I like dogs.
Mhm.
Okay, I like him for that. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Then he goes and he does something funny in a tutu, or he posts a video of him trying to ride a bike and he falls. I mean, so he's funny. He does stupid stuff. He's relatable. He broke down on the side of the road and had a flat tire. And hey, still a great day. Whatever. That I made up every one of those, right?
Mhm.
But that right there, if I saw a guy doing that, and then he rides his motorcycle on the weekend and he goes over to St. Joe over the hills, and somebody watched that and said, "Oh, he has a dog. I like him. Okay, he's an outdoorsman because he knows how to change the tire. He's a businessman. Nothing's going to stop him. He likes to go on rides." I don't know that guy, but I'd buy his product.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah,
that's our
that's
approach.
what you're into. Yeah, yeah. Just tell your story, your hobbies, what you're into, and then it goes back to document versus create. Right?
Mhm.
You don't have to have fancy photos. You don't have to have.
Not at all.
You don't have to have a Canon R5 taking all your photos.
Nope.
You tell your story about what who you are and what you like to do.
That,
It's document versus create.
Oh yeah. Oh, let's talk about our photo shoot on Monday.
Oh yeah,
That's a-
dude. Yeah, that
I
was
can't wait to
Speaking
see
of-
those.
man. That was an awesome experience. Like
Okay.
wild.
Michael,
so
was
questionable.
great.
actually, I didn't even tell you this, but this girl, she offered to do my makeup, and this other girl offered to do my hair because I just don't. Rarely care.
Mhm.
Maybe twice a month I care. So they worked on me for like an hour and a half, and then we show up and we go.
We drove to the grasslands, walked into the pines, and we were just like, okay,
It's
yeah, I mean, it's right on the
beautiful.
verge. It's black over there. It's sunshiny over there. We were walking in. We were like, all right, let's get that set up. We were at first test picture. Boom, boom, drop, 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 drop. And it came down. Cooper said, that's big old fat rain.
Big old fat rain.
And it was.
But
It was big old fat rain.
We practiced what we preach all the time. Not preach, past tense, preach. Michael, he had the umbrella to protect his camera, and he said, "Are we calling it?" And we're like walking in the rain, forwards and backwards,
With
and,
the sun shining and big raindrops just at
and
the
he,
start.
Yeah, and he just kept saying, "Are you okay? Like your hair's getting really wet." And I was like, "We're going with it. We're
Had
going
to.
with it."
Well, yeah, just to look at to a precursor for all that. Like Michael so Michael Casillas did our headshots and our photos for Branded, and they're going to be awesome. He's super talented. If you are not following Lich Seeker on Instagram, you should. But he was out there. He was actually texting me earlier saying, "Hey, look at these storms that are rolling. They're talking about baseball size hail. I'm down if you're down." And I said, "Okay, I know that I'm down, but let me check with Casey and Marie." And they're like, "Yep, let's go do it." And it's also not supposed to roll in until 5:30 or 6, and that was kind of when things were scheduled. But we went out there and we did it, and started raining immediately when we did the first test shots. But he was cool. He held the umbrella at the same time he was taking our motion shots and stuff. And yeah, like you said, Casey, it was sunshine while it was raining underneath the pines in the grasslands. So I don't know if anybody else heard that, but we're right on the square in Main Street, Texas, Decatur, Texas here. And sometimes people like to rev up their engines when they drive by our office. So
straight pipes.
Yeah, those pipes. Yeah.
Hey, but then we went back to that same spot after it's rain away.
Right. We went north a little bit to try to escape that because we could see, like you said earlier, the edge of the storm moving. So let's go a little bit further this way. Found a couple of shots. And then we came back.
When we came back to that looked like Oregon.
Oh my gosh, it was
North
beautiful.
Texas.
I know, and all makeup was gone, all hair was gone, but I was like, we're still doing it. We're doing it.
It's like, Marie, you had your hair fixed, had your makeup done.
I had a dress and heels on.
She could be over it, but you know what? I'm super proud of Marie.
It's real.
It's real.
And
I was like, so many other women, and I don't mean to be sexist or anything like that, but so many other women would be like done. They would be upset or self-conscious about their hair being wet and their makeup running. But Marie is like, nope, I'm down. We're going to hang. We're going to shoot this. My hair will dry in a little bit.
It's very thin. It dries very fast. And then Casey was like, oh, it did dry fast.
Actually, that did dry fast.
Yeah. So I was super proud of Marie, just like sticking through it like a trooper. And it just turned into
such a fun adventure, and we'll always have that story, and we'll have the pictures to go along with it.
Yeah,
which is great content.
It was awesome.
It wasn't it's going to be produced. It was an adventure.
Those pictures are going to be. I think they'll be. For what I've seen of his work, it's going to be a whole different element to group photos and whatever you call that. What do you call that? Like where you go out and take family portraits,
portraits,
or whatever. Yeah. It's going to be a whole different take.
And I was worried that it was going to look like that. That we would just look like brothers and sisters in the woods. Or actually, I told Cooper, I was like, okay, so I'm too old to be your older sister. I'm a complete decade older. And so I was like, so I guess I'm like the aunt. I'm like the fun aunt.
You're the fun aunt. That's a good point.
Yeah, she's the fun, young, cool aunt. Yeah.
Yeah. Because we are different because we were, raised in different decades, but still.
Yeah.
It's amazing what social media, or marketing mindset of people when they come together. It doesn't matter. I look up to some people that are geniuses behind some products that are younger, that are much older. But you have to stay relevant in whatever's working at the moment. You got to consume that content to figure out what's good and what's working because it's always changing. You think Coca-Cola's doing the same thing they did 7 years ago?
Nope.
No. 7 years ago, they're not doing the same thing.
Not at all.
So tell me about some of those, Marie. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but who are some of the people or a person that you're thinking, like, whether it's local, because you said younger than, or like older than, like who's somebody that is been a big like marketing or business influence?
So I think some people that in the real estate world will know who I'm talking. Like Tom Ferry's like a real estate coach, but the guy that he hired to do all of his marketing seminars his name is Jason Pantana, and it's just he kills it. And it's if you did exactly what he tells you to do, you'd be a number one in everything. Like it's all about implementing and executing whatever these people tell you. I've read a lot of books. And it's gotten to me where I am in where we are in our marketing, but it's so small on what's out there to actually get to. So I don't know. And I've consumed a lot of, like when I wanted to make tell a story of a hunting video, like I would watch a hunting video. I wouldn't watch the ones that weren't in it for the right reason. I wanted somebody to tell me where they were, the story, the adventure. I think the word adventure was everything I wanted out of it. So just watching people critiquing it, getting out of it, and then watching all these other people that do marketing and just picking out what I liked out of it, but just doing it doing something is so important. I don't care if it's you. I swear you could just post and do a daily update or a weekly update in front of your desk. If you do it consistent enough, somebody's going to listen, and it's going to grow, and it's going to grow. But people give up and they stop doing it, and that's I hate that for people, because I think not really answering your question, but I do want to say that the one thing that I think is the most value to somebody listening right now is as soon as you get over what somebody else is thinking of you in your marketing, the better you'll succeed. I post some stupid stuff sometimes, and I can remember when I first started, like, what is the people in town going to think of me? Or like, what are what are my uncles? What are my cousins? What are my mom? What is my brothers going to think when I post this? Because it was so new. I was doing something completely opposite, and it was so awkward to them. But now it's over. I've overcame that, and they've overcome it. It's like, it's not even a thing. Like, it's just another thing Cason's posting. Right. And the people now, I don't post it for them, and I don't post it for me. I post it to give value to the people that actually want to hear it and see it and actually give value back.
Multiple people have asked me, okay, well, Cooper does video and you do social media. So why is Kason involved in branded? I mean, granted, you helped start it before I joined. But I said he attributes his success in real estate to marketing, being, on top and ahead of everything and trying things that others aren't.
Yep.
And
it's definitely, I'm very passionate about marketing, and I think that every business needs our services or a service like ours, or you do it yourself. Like, if you're not doing what we're doing for people, you won't make it. I mean, I don't know how they do it. Yeah, they're busy, but what happens when it slows down? I'm so busy I can't post right now. I'm so busy that I can't take more at work. Dude, there's going to be a time when it's going to be cloudy and it's going to be rainy and it's going to be bad. Something's going to happen. What you do right now leads up to
that, and it could possibly carry you through some of the downtimes if you're doing it right.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are starting, and I thought that we might be getting to the market late and starting a company like what we started. But no, I mean, because a lot of companies are starting to hire in-house, social media and stuff like that, which is fine. More power to them.
Yeah,
they understand what's going on.
Do well.
Yeah, a lot of people that do well, and they can do that if
they see the value.
They see the value in it. But so I was thinking, coming from the Dallas market, where that was, talking to larger companies, they had started to move towards that. So I wasn't really sure if this was a market for it, but apparently there still is. So
there is a market.
There is a market for it. I mean, we're living proof of that.
Yeah.
People need help. People need assistance, and some people just are not sure about social media or how to operate it or what to even do with it and how it.
They're intimidated by it.
They're intimidated by it, and they're not quite sure how it can help them out. But I think that we continue to just post for ourselves, and we don't do a whole lot of marketing for ourselves, but just the document versus create thing, like that alone can help any business that wants to get started in doing their own social media.
And it's a digital scrapbook of how your business progresses, because it's just harder and harder to organize photos, but there's some terrible sides of Facebook, but one thing is great when it comes to memories of either friends, family, your business. It's just so convenient to have it there and to have your story online.
Well, and that leads back to what we were talking about with Gary Vaynerchuk. He pulls up a video from 2008, and it's a side-by-side Instagram video. He plays one side 2008, and then in 2021, he's like, "Hey, still the same story," and I was correct whenever I said that in 2008. So it's just like such a cool legacy thing too.
No, he's a good guy to pay attention to. That should be your starting point. I mean, get to him and just, you don't even have to leave it if you want to focus on that, because I did for a long time, and just take it and implement it.
Yeah. Implement it. I think that, and he's aware of this too. And he says it on his content all the time. I'm tired of you guys watching me. I'm tired of you guys watching my content. Stop watching me and go out and do it.
My favorite thing.
I love you guys, but go watch. Go do it.
I love it when he'll say something. Somebody will be like, "Oh, I'm struggling with building my business. I've been trying it for a year," and he'll like literally log into their account and he goes, "You've posted once in 2 months. Like, post every day, 12. What was it? How many levels of content a day did he say you needed to do at one time?
Oh man, like
60?
60. Like he did a thing where he's like how to create 64 pieces of content in one day. And it was like it started with him taking a photo. Like he had an idea sitting in a meeting, and he just did this like simple like smiley face with like I love you, or go do hard work today, or hustle, or something like that with a smiley face. And he took a picture by it, and he took a picture of it. Then he took a selfie with it, and he's like, I'm going to distribute this on my Twitter, on my Facebook, on my Instagram, on my Snapchat. D-Rock was just shooting a video of that, so that's going to go up on YouTube. So anyways, like he did this like whole thing, one piece of content, and like, but he made 64 pieces of content
From one thing?
from like that one instance, right?
Wow.
Yeah. So he does things like that just to call people out. Like, hey, you can do stuff.
There's tons of content all day long.
All day. Yeah. When you're documenting the journey, there's always a story to be told. Every day is a story. Or it becomes a story.
I guess all of this doesn't matter as long if it's not working. And I think the way we're getting more business and more clients, and the clients that are staying with us, have we lost any that's ever? I mean, it's not on us usually; it's on them not holding their end of the deal up. If I even can
the
recall
only
one.
time that it doesn't work is if we don't have access to their company or employees.
Yes.
Or they think they're sending us content, but it's not content that we can use.
Right.
But that's like one and
because of our
20.
business model.
I mean, it's so small.
Yeah. Yeah, we got to have access to your office and to your employees and in your environment, your culture, whatever you created. That's what we're going to market.
And some are not comfortable with that, which is fine.
It's not the right thing for them.
Ready.
Yeah,
right.
They can try radio ads, maybe.
Yeah,
the yellow pages.
Yellow pages. Radio ads are expensive.
And you didn't even sit on phone books. Did you have phone books when you were little?
We did.
See, that's the generation.
I can remember
Did you
phone
ever
books.
use them?
I ever used
as
them.
boosters.
Yes,
not as boosters. Yeah,
I think I said
we had. I was from a big town. Well, we lived outside of Denver, and the yellow pages were like 3.
Boosters.
Oh, big ones.
I don't think you had those.
I think
in Wise
ours county one was like
maybe
that.
It wasn't
big.
gonna.
It got big over the year, but then it died off.
It was the phone's booster. Our phone, like our landline phone, set on top of. Whatever.
A little stack of
whatever phone book we had. That's it.
Well, guys.
Phone books. Yeah.
What else we got to give them?
I don't know what's coming up. We have so event wise, we have Beverly's Facebook Live fundraiser, and Emma is helping with the event. The flowers and the planning
and
her and Rosie Hayes.
And it's a group effort. It's going to be beautiful. Not many are going to be invited because she's just finished her 4th round of chemo. So even without COVID, her immune system's pretty low.
Get it.
So, she would love to have everyone, but I'm actually going to have her on the podcast to talk about it and about her cancer and her and Sally. And then we have the food truck challenge before that.
May 15th.
May 15th.
That's going to be giant. I can't wait for that. That's going to be starting at 10 a.m. Food trucks open up. You buy the tickets. You give a food truck a ticket, and they will give you their portion of their sample portion that everybody gets, even the judges. And then whoever basically sells the most tickets wins People's Choice. There's a savory, there's a sweet, there's a grand prize, and I think it's like $5,000 to the grand prize food truck. A lot of activities for kids. Then the concerts start with Jared Morris at around 7 or 7:30 p.m. that night on big stage, and then William Clark Green on the main stage after him. But I think that those combined people with what I've seen with like William Clark Green is tied up with he's been doing a lot with Dale Brisby which is that rodeo cowboy guy who's got a lot of followers and through social media. Started on Snapchat, just daily stuff. Grew this huge following, ginormous.
He's a character.
He's just a character, but he's
funny.
I've been seeing him with William Clark Green, and if any of these kids, these thousands of people that are following Dale Brisby, see that he's associated with William Clark Green lately, I think we're gonna have a ton of like youngsters out there to watch the concert. So I expect 3,000 plus people.
How many food trucks ish?
I think it's 18,
Oh,
maybe
fun.
20 right now.
That'd be good.
Yeah,
So
and it's at the fairgrounds
yes.
this year.
So
just
next to
we
the
can
rodeo
spread out.
arena.
There's more room.
All the parking on the south side of the rodeo arena. I walked past about 40 vendors signed up to have a booth and
Great.
sell
That's cool.
things.
This is the first time I've done vendors at the Food Truck Challenge.
We've
Yes,
tried it a
or-
couple times downtown, just not a lot of space. But now that we have all that space, we opened it up. You know,
Yeah.
get what
We
you
still
bring
need
as
to
many.
get ours.
Yep. And
We do
then
need to get ours.
so we'll be doing that. And that's going to be a lot of fun. My brother-in-law is flying in with his girlfriend from Boston we're picking them up at the airport on Friday to come do it. I mean, it's just going to be fun. It's going to be a
That's
really
So
good one.
fun.
Yeah, this is a really busy week,
It
like with
is.
that coming up.
Not only events, but I want you to tell them how many projects do you have to pump out before we go to Montana? We have a project in Montana we go to May 18th.
May 18th.
Yeah.
Right after the morning after the fundraiser.
Before then, how many
So
long
May-
content videos do you need to make?
So May 17th, we're doing the Beverly Ross live event. And before that, I need to, I'm working on her video piece, a couple of video pieces for
Promotional?
her that are for the actual event. So
Oh,
there's
okay.
going to be videos
That need to be
played live at the event. So there's 2 of those that I'm working on.
and they're so emotional. Like,
No, they're
don't just
great.
skip over. Like,
No, this
he
is gonna be good.
interviewed the counselors and then some of the families that their organization have helped. And I was just outside the door listening to one, and I lost it. It was so emotional and so real and so like
Yeah.
it's gonna just help
telling their story.
telling their story. It's just
through
gonna
film.
help so many people.
So
Sorry
you
to
got that
interrupt.
big one.
I got that one going on. I'm working with a project for Decatur ISD.
Oh, that's a big project
I
too.
cried there too.
Yeah.
We were in the elementary schools, and
Lots of great
we
interviews.
saw your niece Skylar and just Sailor, sorry, and their Spanish program.
Yes.
We walked into this classroom, and every child was speaking and learning in Spanish. Right?
I was super
It's-
impressed. It doesn't matter,
blew me
yeah.
away.
Yeah, she's-
Hispanic,
It's hilarious what she can do.
Caucasian, like they were all speaking in Spanish. And I was like, this is awesome. This is what
Mhm.
dual language is all about. Because I know some people say it and they like to promote it, but to see it in practice in these classrooms was like mind blowing to
And
me.
then
So
the
good.
lighting, they just totally ignored Cooper. They were in tune with what their teachers were saying and their counselors. And
Oh yeah.
it was just the sweetest.
That's
oh my
awesome.
god,
It was great.
So that's
Until we got
really
to the
beautiful.
cafeteria. The cafeteria was lit though.
Ooh.
Saw a guy walking around with a camera and everybody wanted to be on it. So that was
Oh.
fun. There's a little bit of that footage on there. So that was
That's
fun.
free time to act out. So that's a story to tell the teacher's story of the past year, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
so there's a lot of teacher interviews, coaches, admin, for Decatur ISD and
High school to elementary.
Yeah, high school, elementary. And they've been with all the obstacles and challenges over this past year, there's been a lot of schools in the state and in the nation that have experienced like some like losses and lack in some numbers and how well they're doing as a school. But Decatur seems to be right on point, and
Wow.
so they wanted to kind of take
Didn't you say one of them was like
moment.
that some schools are 8 months behind?
Mhm.
18. They're
18
showing. They're
months.
Yes.
they're thinking that in this.
Because
I
of
didn't
the
know this
pandemic.
until I talked to some of the Decatur ISD admin, but there's something that's called the pandemic slide or the academic slide that a lot of these schools are experiencing, and they expect them to be averaging around 18 months behind where they should be.
Wow.
And Decatur is showing numbers of being like either right on point compared to 2019 numbers or slightly above.
Mhm.
Yes.
So the pandemic slide or academic slide hasn't really
Yeah.
affected
Quarantining
Decatur
and
ISD
all that.
because of the work of these teachers, the work of the
We got to
admin, and the
showcase
support.
everything positive going on in
That's so
Decatur
good.
ISD.
Yeah,
In
so
all-
that's
in
basically
one
what this
day.
is. It's
It
like,
was
hey, let's just show
so-
all the good things that are happening in Decatur ISD over such a challenging year.
Mhm.
They've been
um,
working so hard
Yeah.
with very little appreciation and thank you, and now we get to showcase so many
Yeah.
good things.
Absolutely. So that's a big project I've got coming up now. And then obviously where, there's all that. I did a cool project. It was spontaneous. It was fun. It was for a nonprofit organization. I went down to Louisiana last
Mhm.
weekend, and it's for Cover 6 Outdoors. And that's
Oh,
a
tell
really
us about
cool.
when you saw the alligator.
Oh yeah, that was why I had no idea. So,
Somebody's gonna be listening to this. Yeah, dude, it's an alligator.
yeah, it's a freaking alligator.
We don't
and,
have those here.
and we're in Louisiana. Louisiana, and yeah,
It's like a frog
It's
to them.
yeah, like it really
Right,
is.
but
But
walking
man,
across the road.
But yeah, so I'm driving, I'm getting there. I'm getting close to my destination, and it's very green, like lots of rain. It rained on me the whole way down there. So everything's green, getting a little swampy down there in Louisiana.
That's so cool.
And then I'm on this old like farm to market road, getting close to Grand Bayou Lake in a little town called Coshada, Louisiana. And then like I'm driving, but like I drive by, and I'm like, there's a gator in the shoulder. And I was like, it was staying still. So okay, it must be dead, I think. Was it dead? I don't know. So like I stopped and turned around, came back around, and sure enough, it was a gator that had been hit by a car and was just on the side of the road, but it wasn't like destroyed or gross or anything. It was pretty fully intact. And I was like, I did not know that gator roadkill was a thing.
Yes.
But apparently that's a thing in Louisiana. And so I had to get a picture. So if anyone saw that on my stories and stuff, that's what it was.
There's no difference than a wild pig I guess they have those too, but I think roadkill around here, but that just not alligators.
No, not gators.
To your car.
Yeah.
Oh, I went to the Scottish festival.
Oh yeah,
if I can say it
I saw
correctly.
some footage of that.
It was wonderful. It was rainy that day, but it made you feel like you were in Scotland.
Oh yeah,
it was just muddy and cold, and people speaking in different accents, and the music. And I mean, thousands of people were there, and I only knew 4 people. That drew so many people in to Wise County, which is just so great for the community. And then all downtown, men in skirts, just walking around the square.
Yeah.
It was. We definitely need to do more for that next year when they come in.
Yeah, lead up to it or promote it.
Yeah, promote it
first day or something. Yeah. At least the first day, and then like multiple days.
Yes, it's 3 days.
Yeah, so the first day we got to get something out that day.
And the games I'd never seen. It was
that's awesome.
Yeah, it was good stuff.
And then you got, we're all going to Montana to do another bird dog hunting dog training video for Flusham High Kennels in Montana.
Yeah, kind of the southeastern part of Montana.
Where are we flying into first?
We are going to fly into Bismarck, South Dakota. Is where we're flying into.
And so he's right on the East Coast,
not the East Coast.
He's on the east side of Montana.
Yeah,
in the Badlands.
Yeah.
So and he said it's gonna be pretty green up there.
Yep, it's going to be nice. He said that they've experienced an early spring, so a lot of the snow and cold weather went away relatively quickly.
Okay,
so should be really pretty. I'm gonna pack a coat just in case.
Yeah, it gets cold at night.
Yeah. But I'm looking forward to that one. That's gonna be fun. And just before that, I'm going up to the same week, the 13th. I'm heading up to Pittsburgh to do a wedding video for one of my best friends, as his sister-in-law is getting married. And so very, very busy couple of weeks, very, very busy past couple of months. And then looks like the next month or two is going to be pretty busy for me too.
Busy.
So,
we now have teams. We hired Reed. He was.
Oh yeah. Shout out to Reed Edgman, who was.
We put him to work.
We put him to work immediately, like literally.
Like how many jobs has he done since he started?
I mean, he helped me get a little bit of B-roll for the Decatur ISD.
Oh, he's on every project.
And Will Wright for the Wright House Art Studio that's here on the square.
Documentary.
Yeah, the documentary that we're doing. He got some B-roll and was there with me when I did the interview yesterday. He went out to help Colby Williams and Tom's Pool Service today get some B-roll out in North Lake, but they've got like 4 pools they're doing all at one time out there. You may have seen that lead up video where they did the 3 or 4 digs in one day. So this is going to be kind of the continuation project and a final piece that they do for the 4 pools are getting done all in one area in North Lake over there. So he went out there today. He went out and did a little aerial drone work and some photos for Lisa G. Caraway with Parker Properties. Did a little video.
She still goes by Lisa G.
Lisa G.
She told me I should have. She told me when I first started I should use my middle initial. Yeah. And because it's more professional. She does sound professional. Lisa G.
Lisa
Caraway. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah.
She listened to our first podcast. That's a big thing.
What did she say?
She liked it. She commented on it. Yeah, she goes, I did listen to it. She made we were texting. She goes, I don't listen to them all, or I don't watch every video you make. Back to like not really caring. Don't do it for your mom, kind of stuff. Like she's not going to watch it anyway.
She's busy. She doesn't have time to watch videos.
She's old school. She doesn't watch videos. I mean, if somebody wrote a page on Facebook, she'd read every word of it.
Oh.
But like a video, heck no. Yeah. She's that percentage that's this little that will not watch the videos, in my opinion. Long story short, she watched the first one and she was saying stuff along the lines of, it's amazing what, 5 years ago, one drone 5 years ago or 6 years ago, what that's become, in our,
in your industry,
in my-
in your world, and your marketing,
and just even
your
like
career.
creating a business around it. And,
Yeah.
and so that was kind of
Great.
to hear. And then
Hey, I heard something. She watched a video that I did. She watched another video that we
she
did.
watched 2 today.
She watched 2. She watched Mark Aries' video that we posted today.
Did she like it?
She said it was really good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did she remember MTV Cribs? Are you
I'm
watching
sure I watched it
MTV?
when I was a kid all the time.
Yeah.
I watched
It was nostalgic. It was good.
It was good. That was like Raw and Real way back before Raw and Real was cool. Organic
It
stuff.
really was stuff. Yeah.
Oh,
So I
that's
tried to
cool.
shoot it that way. I wanted to shoot it true to MTV Crib style and the editing stuff. And, that was kind of Mark's idea for the thing too. And,
Mhm.
and so, if you guys haven't watched that yet, go over to Mark Aries and watch that deal.
Just it needs to be sending them to our page as well. And we
Well,
gotta
yeah,
have
for
all
sure.
those on there. It's like, that's the
Mhm.
thing. We're so good about getting everybody else's stuff out on a timeline.
It's
It's like the
true.
roofer's
I know.
roof
But
is
it's
always the
ours.
worst of the
I
lawn
know.
and landscaping
We're always
guys.
like, go look at this. We did this
Not
for
yet,
them.
on their page.
Yeah.
You
No.
can come to our page and look at it too.
We
Well,
have now we
hopefully
have a
we're
guy
getting-
that's gonna
He has a list.
he has
He's
a list of
uploading.
what he's gonna be doing, and
Yes,
it's
and I
nonstop
hired someone
uploading
today
content.
too.
Yeah,
She's
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
take 10 accounts.
That's big, Marie.
Yes,
That's what you said you
because we
wanted
have,
like 6 months ago.
It feels so good, and because we have all these coming in, so I'm going to focus on a handful and then the new ones, because that's the hard part when you're getting to know the business and onboarding.
absolutely.
The onboarding.
That's account
process is-
management. That onboarding and getting them comfortable with you
Mm.
is a full-time job in itself.
Yes, and you have to have it smooth and running before you can even try to train someone.
All good.
Mm-hmm.
All is great. I think
I'm excited.
it's all good. Podcast
all
number
good
2
things.
and we feel good about it, and we really still enjoying our new microphones and headsets. I mean, it sounds good in our head.
Yeah, it's
Sounds
really
good.
comfortable.
Yeah, and if you did watch the first one, if you watched it all the way through, I appreciate that. But we had some technical difficulties, and
Mhm.
just with a pressing of the button to have an extra
You'll have
mic.
no idea how many things we set up.
Yeah, we're just like here we are, like we're all looking this way at it, looking at
Like they know.
the
lot of
camera,
It's over there.
the computer, the soundboard, the mixer. Yeah. So that first podcast, there's a little hiccup that, Michael thought that he was not recording something that was muted. He saw it muted. He thought that it needed to be unmuted to get
Right.
all the audio. And so then it started streaming from multiple microphones other than these, namely the microphone from the MacBook, or the iMac computer.
Right.
And so then you're streaming not only our microphones, but then
Which sounds so good.
it sounds good, and then you add in that iMac mic, which
Robot.
sounds gross in itself, but then you have multiple streams of audio feeding into one channel and started sounding like
Echoing.
metal and robot and echo and off time.
Who was
and
your
stuff.
buddy that came and had tried to help us?
Corey Morris.
you to
Morris.
him, man.
Yeah, thanks
Mhm.
Corey.
He sat in
for-
here for an hour and then came
Oh.
back.
and then he
That's
came back
nice.
too. He had a lot of great ideas, and he said that basically to fix a problem like that was to have some sort of ISO something or another, something that I'm not familiar with. It would cost thousands, or like it would be very expensive to have
Mhm.
that type
So
of
we just
equipment.
posted it.
But so we posted it anyways. I did a
but
little
you did a little,
disclaimer video,
Right.
I guess, or
kind
just a
of
little
thing.
hey,
It shouldn't
heads
happen
up.
again, and our consumer and our clients won't go through that.
No.
I know I can see the button that he pushed, and it'll never be
Yes.
pushed again.
Nope.
Yes, and our clients are ready.
Have they?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, there's a lot of them that are ready to come do a podcast.
I know. I
and
tried to
so
get
many of
Jeremiah
them
Green
are-
to come in tonight.
I saw that. I was hoping he was
I
going
was
to do
hoping
that.
I
gonna-
said yes,
I
but
just-
we'll get him. We'll get him sometime.
and Mark Airy, I was on his podcast. He has Wise Weekly. Hopefully, they're gonna fire it back up.
Yeah, hopefully they
You know,
do that.
so
That'd be
it'll
good.
It'll be good to have him on.
Yeah, so have him on because he's invited us back onto his show too. So
I know. Yeah.
it would be good to get back
Yeah,
on.
and
there.
hopefully this is the catalyst for more to even start podcasts.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
it's
what
not
we
even
want.
about competition.
It's not about ours.
It's
It's
a
about
great
getting y'all on
way.
here.
Yeah, it's a great way to market yourselves and get your story out there.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Okay.
It's time to go
Good
to
job,
bed.
team.
Time to go to bed. It is late
Woo!
night.
This is
Where
way
are
past
we?
my bedtime.
10
10.
o'clock.
Is it 10? Well done. I'm gonna do the
That's very nice.
outro
You want to close us out, Casey?
intro.
Sure, I'll do it.
Any,
If you go push that button over there and use Jared's music,
Okay.
the
It's
one-
short and sweet. Remember that.
I'll hurry it up.
It is short.
I'll start it now. For those for watching the video, we appreciate y'all tuning in. Hey, this is Branded Film and Media's studio and our podcast number 2. We're exiting out of this stage right now.